Okay, so we showed you how to do a logical acquisition on a Samsung Galaxy S5 smartphone, and it pretty much works the same with all Android devices. iOS devices, by the way, you can do an acquisition, but it has to be iOS version 7 or older, which isn't very practical because iOS is up to version 9 now at the time of this recording, which is December 2015. So, very hard for these mobile forensics companies to keep up with modern technology. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and look at some different acquisitions that I've done. If we go into the recent case final and into all of our evidence, this shows three different devices that I've done an acquisition that I've done acquisitions from. Now I have a Motorola Droid Bionic, Samsung Galaxy S5, and a Samsung Galaxy S6. Now the Motorola Bionic is a somewhat older phone. I was able to get it rooted. It's a Android 4.2. Getting it rooted wasn't too much work, so you can see that we're able to do a physical acquisition on this, and you can tell the difference because it's an EO1 file, and the logical acquisition is the LO1. So and when you do a physical acquisition, it actually breaks it up. It does both acquisitions at once, giving you the physical and the logical, so you don't have to do the logical separately. So, but first we're going to go ahead and just look at the Samsung Galaxy S5. And this is my phone. This is actually an acquisition I did about 3 weeks ago. And so over on the left here, we can see all of the different types of information that this is holding. And we can see this is the root of the file. And then we have phone information, last known location, account settings, SMS messages, MMS messages, call log, contacts, organizer events, internet data, bookmarks, and application data. So let's kind of go through a little bit here and look at some of these different things. Now, under device, we can see, I don't want to show you my phone number, but we can see down here, this is a device. This is the path, manufacturer Samsung, model SMG900V. So we can tell exactly what kind of phone it is, who the manufacturer is, and if we go up down a little bit more, you can see that it is a Verizon phone. If you go all the way down, what the heck, who cares? Here's the phone number associated with the phone, the network code, and the Verizon Wireless is the carrier. So the time, we can see that local time was November 28th, 2015. 9:56 p.m. is when the acquisition was done. You can see what time zone I was in at the time. Here's last known location. So here are some GPS coordinates on the last time that location services was turned on my phone. So pretty useful information there. Accounts. Here's some different accounts that are associated with my phone. Here's my VCast account, which is a Verizon, some junk Verizon software I don't use. My Exchange account and a couple of accounts associated with my Gmail account. So pretty interesting. This is all the settings on my phone. I'm actually surprised it's able to pull all this without having root access. But you can see, I don't know how much value this really holds, but it is kind of neat. You can see that it has a value of 0. Most of them go from 0 to 1, except for like volume. It'll even show you like what the volume was when the acquisition was done, but different things. And so volume music was at 7, so I have my music set down or set pretty high. I think it just goes to 10. No, I'm wrong. It goes up higher than that. So you can see that my ringer was set to 11. System was set to 9. Voice was set to 4. Alarm was set to 11. So I mean, different things. It's pretty interesting. And then most of them are zeros and ones to indicate whether it was on or off at the time. But anyways, moving down here, we have different kinds of messages. This is going to show all of the short message services and all the multi-message services. So SMS is just text. MMS is any message that has anything other than text in it, such as photos, videos, sound, anything like that. So we can keep them organized in inbox, outbox, draft, undelivered. So you can see my inbox here. If we just kind of cruise down through the whole thing, I mean, we have thousands of messages here. So probably some pretty good information in here. So we can see, for example, here's a phone number that, or here's a message that I have from my friend Willie Dong. Here's the remote number. That's his phone number. I don't mind showing you that. And here's what the message said. He sent me some funny face and said that is hard. The status text was red, and it was from the inbox folder. So you can kind of go through and find all this information down here. Here's a call log. Here is all of my incoming and outgoing phone calls. Here's all my contacts. Events. This is even if I create an event through Outlook on my computer and it syncs up with my phone, here's all my events. So let's see. St. Elizabeth's Electrical Work. This is for December 28th, 2015 at 8 a.m. So you can see that this is a future event coming up in my phone. Internet data. Here are all the bookmarks that were on my phone, and application data, and here's all the applications that are on the phone. So some pretty good information, but all in all, I mean, really it's nothing too much different than what you would be able to find if you were to just open up the phone. So nothing that's terribly impressive. It does do a nice job of gathering all this data and putting it into this nice and neat report, which you can see right here, this tab. So it does have its value, but overall, you really need to have a rooted phone in order to get deep into the file system of the phone. So let's take a look at what that would look like. So if we go back to our evidence here, and we go to the Bionic Final, and this is the physical acquisition that was done. So if we click this, you can see the file structure is much different than what the logical acquisition is. Suddenly we're starting to see some different files here that are very deep into the phone, and it is amazing the data that your phone is collecting on you. So let's kind of take a look here, and we can see all sorts of different files, but this is what I really want to show you is the DB. Now these are database files. Now if we want to look at this, if we double click, and this is going to open up with DB browser for SQLite, for SQLite, and that's because I have it set up to do so. Now initially it says that they're viewed internally, and you can kind of see a couple of the fields and tables if you use the attributes. Let's see if I can actually show you here. Well, regardless, it's terrible. You really need either a third party or program to view these database files, or you can use the EnCase, which I'm going to show you in a moment. So actually, I think now would be a good time. Now, if you go up here, you can see EnCase. Now, the makers of EnCase guidance software, which you can see right here, if you go to their site and you go to the App Central portion of it, you can find all these amazing scripts that people have written for EnCase, and they're very easy to download and to incorporate into EnCase. So all you have to do is sign up for an account for guidance software. I didn't have to prove that I actually owned EnCase or a license or anything like that. It was totally free. I just signed up. I just added these to cart, all the ones that I thought were interesting and could help me. And you can see that there is a price tag associated with some of them. Image licenser, 1-year license. This is a $399 script. You can see this one. This is a $1,000 script. So it's pretty crazy some of the stuff that these scripts can do. But for the most part, I think they have 167 of them are listed in here, and most of them are $0. So it's pretty cool. There's some very unique and interesting things in here that will really speed up your forensics searching on some of these devices. So it is definitely worth taking a look at. But let me show you a couple that I found, and we'll start off by we got to look at this database file. Now, before I incorporated the database viewers into EnCase, if you were to double click on this, it's just going to say that SQLite or SQLite files are viewed internally. I didn't see anywhere that they were really being viewed. So if you highlight the file, you can see that it's highlighted here. And we go up to EnScript and we run the SQLite query script on it that I downloaded from App Central. And then this should open up into a nice table that's going to show us everything about this database. Or is it? EnScript, SQLite query, and I don't know why it's not. There we go. Now we'll try a different one. So you can see that this is going to show all the tables and all the data that are in these databases. So this is a table, cached position is the table, and this is going to show all my latitude, longitude, altitude, how accurate it was, heading, speed, timestamp, all this different information that this is keeping. And you can see this database is this is a pretty small one, but that's using the SQLite query script, which is pretty good, but there are better ways to do this, and I prefer a program called SQLite Browser. It's a free program that you can download just if you just want to Google it and download it. It's super easy to incorporate. So what we'll do is we'll go up here to File Viewers, and we'll start New, and we'll go to, we'll just call this SQL Viewer, and we'll go to Application Path, and we're just going to point straight to the SQLite browser that we have saved on our computer. So let's see. Oh, it must be a 64-bit program. So we'll go down here to SQLite Browser 3, bin, and point at the executable. Hit OK, hit OK. And now we can use this third-party program to look at this database. So all we do is we'll right-click on the DB file, and we will open with SQLite Viewer. Oh, this one in particular is empty, so let's try a different one. And there are so many. I just passed a bunch. Whoops. Keep scrolling by. Let's look at Browser 2. So if we go to Open With, then we'll pick our file viewer that we just created, SQL Viewer. Now this is a pretty good one. This is going to show us everything. It's going to show us all the tables. We can expand that out, and it's going to show all the columns in the tables. And then if we want to just collapse that. Now if we go up to the Browse Data tab, this is just going to query the whole table. So this is going to show, this is a good example. Here is bookmarks. So these are all the bookmarks associated with my browser on my phone. And this is going to show you Google, Verizon Wireless homepage, your guide mobile. So you can see this is some really interesting information that it's gathering here. It's going to show you the URL, and this is just one table. So, and here's my account name associated with that site, account type, and lots and lots of information. And this is a full-blown database program. So what we can do, we can see the tables over here. And if we want to make our own queries, we can. So if we want to just do a select all from history and execute that, we can see this. Now if we want to like narrow our results, we can do like a select all from history where URL like, it works just like other versions of SQL. There seems to so far, and boom, then we can narrow down our results. So pretty awesome little program, and it's just really incredible on some of the stuff that these database files are keeping in your phone. I mean, we could spend hours and hours going through all this and looking through, but we won't. So anyways, this is part 2 of the video, and this is an introduction to looking through a physical acquisition and how to open up these database files. If you want to tune into part 3, I'm going to finish showing about some different N scripts and XML files. So thank you for watching, and we'll be right back.